I'm Lauren and welcome to my craft room. We're so excited to celebrate Katharine Kelly, the leader of Team Tiny, as she has reached 1,000 subscribers. All of the people in this hashtag-driven hop have chosen a video that inspired us to create something. I chose a recent project of hers with this really cool design using ink inside of a laminating sheet. I've never seen anything like it and I was so excited to try it for myself. There's also lots of prizes along the way of this hop, so please make sure you leave a comment with everyone you go to. Everyone needs to be a follower of Katharine Kelly to win a prize, so make sure you subscribe to her channel. I'm so excited to show you what I have today, so let's get right into it. I'm going to start with the laminating sheet first because I will have to have it dry overnight. I'm using Heidi Swapp's Color Shine Iridescent Spritzes in Tropicana Teal and Mint Green. I like that they have some shimmer to them and I think it will look really pretty in the background of the card. Setting this aside to dry overnight, I'm going to work on the other pieces of my card, starting with stamping my Ferris wheel. I originally placed it in the corner because I don't have the die yet. It was back ordered and I'm waiting to pick it up, but the die actually has a frame around the open left side and bottom of the Ferris wheel. So I thought stamping it in the corner would help me add that frame once I cut it out. I ended up going in a different direction, but that's the reason why I stamped so close to the corner. I'm using Lawn Fawn's ink in jet black because I'm going to be using alcohol markers to color in my images. The sets that I'm using for this card are by Avery Elle. The first set with the Ferris wheel is called Peekaboo Fair. It includes the Ferris wheel as well as a bumper car, a really cute unicorn, and some fun sentiments like bumping by to say hi, bumping into you, have a wheelie, happy birthday. It's just a really cute set. There's also a fun little flag and cotton candy so that your unicorn can hold some treats while they're on the Ferris wheel or in the bumper car. The other set I'm using is called Peekaboo Jungle, and it features adorable critters like a leopard, zebra, a lion, and a giraffe. There are also really nice sentiments like simply wild about you, love you fiercely, sending lots of hugs, have a great day. And they also have these palm leaves like from the jungle in a solid as well as an outline. I decided on using the leopard, lion, and zebra for my critters in my Ferris wheel. I stamped them to make sure there is a good outline, and I'm going to color them in with my alcohol inks. My markers of choice are the Letraset Pro markers. I believe they're now owned by Winsor & Newton. And I'm going to go ahead and color these off camera so I can just get right into making the card with you. Now that I have all my cute images, I want to put them kind of together just to see what my layout is going to look like, to see if there's anything else that I would like to add to the card. I think the little paws hanging over the buckets on the Ferris wheel are really the cutest thing. They really make the card. It looks like they're sitting in there and just having a good time. So when I put everything together, I realized that it's kind of missing some fun to the Ferris wheel, and I wanted to add some of the smaller images from the two sets. I'm going to stamp a cotton candy, one of the flags, and a bunch of the jungle-shaped palm leaves to decorate with the Ferris wheel and to add some fun to the critters who are riding in the Ferris wheel. I stamped a bunch of the leaves because I wasn't sure how many I wanted to use and what exactly I was going to do with them. And again, I'm going to color off camera and show you my finished results. Now that my laminating sheet is dry, I'm going to go ahead and run it through my ink machine. I still use the protective sheet because one time I ran my lamination sheet through the machine and it didn't come out great. So I keep it in the protected sheet and it turns out awesome. It was a really cool design. The background that I'm using is also an Avery Elle die called the Cloud Matte die. It creates a frame as well as these different cloud images. I love that you can use all the clouds to make a scene in the sky, or you can maybe use some of the clouds so only the clouds are at the top of the card. It's really great that they come out in separate pieces and you can decorate your card however you want with this mat. Now that I have all my pieces, I'm going to start putting my card together. I'm using a green card base, trying to stick with the greens and oranges of the jungle theme that I was creating with my images. And I'm going to use the white mat from the Cloud Mat die. I take my laminator sheet and I put it in different parts of the sheet to see which part of the spray I want to use for my card. And I use a Sharpie just to indicate approximately where I want to cut. The frame itself is 4 by 5.25, and I'm going to cut the laminating sheet a little bit smaller than that. So when I glue everything together, the laminating sheet won't be exposed outside of the frame. I want it to be just a little bit smaller. And once I have it cut down, I'm going to layer everything to see if it's how I want. Since I'm pleased with the design, I'm going to add strong sticky tape to my laminating sheet and my white frame. I would recommend using a 1/8 inch of the double-sided sticky tape due to the width of the frame, but unfortunately I only have 1/4. So I'm going to cut it down in half and apply to the laminating sheet and the frame. I did this off camera because it took me a while to cut all the pieces and get them in place. Now that I have the tape on, I apply the laminating sheet to my card base, and in between the frame, I want the Ferris wheel. Because I didn't create that frame, I ended up cutting out the Ferris wheel completely with scissors with fussy cutting and an X-Acto knife. I'm going to lay it down first and then put the frame on top. I like to use my Lawn Fawn bone folder to really make sure the sticky tape is stuck and that my images are really stuck to my card base. Now that I have my Ferris wheel and my frame glued down, I want to apply some of the clouds from the Cloud Mat die. I don't want to use all of them, so I lay the template of the clouds from the die to see which clouds I want to use and where they're going to go. I decide on 4 of the clouds and I sort them out to apply some double-sided sticky tape to each of the pieces and put them on the card. I don't think you really need to follow the mat design, especially if you're not using all of the clouds, but I liked the layout that the mat die had, so I'm using the mat with the cloud holes just to give me a template to line up the different pieces of my clouds. I realized that I actually picked the wrong cloud, so I did have to sort through my clouds to find the right piece. Following the same technique as applying the other images to my card base, I use my bone folder to make sure all of my clouds are really secured. The laminator sheet is slick, and I want to make sure none of my images are going to move or slide off as I continue making my card. I thought about using some pop-up dimensionals to give a little bit more dimension to my card, but I thought that my critters might be sticking out too far and went with just flat cloud images. My buckets on my Ferris wheel were also flat on the card, and I needed to give them more dimension so the critters could be sitting inside of them. So I decided to re-stamp the 3 buckets, color them, and fussy cut them out. When coloring images, I also like to add a little bit of my white gel ink pen to give some highlights. It's really easy to put shadow into images while coloring, but I like to add highlights as well to give an illusion of that the buckets are round and that light is on one side and shadows on the other. I think that's really important when coloring images and giving them that 3D look. I apply dimensionals to each of the Ferris wheel buckets, and I use each of the critters as a guide to make sure that there's plenty of room for the critter to sit inside of the Ferris wheel buckets. While I assemble the rest of my card, I wanted to talk a little bit about Team Tiny. This is a really neat Facebook group for crafters and creators who are newer to YouTube and want to grow their audience. Everyone in Team Tiny has either less than 1,000 subscribers and also not enough hours to create a monetized channel. So the nice thing about our hops with these small channels is that there are no ads, but you're also helping all of these awesome creators get more viewing hours with hopes to monetizing their channel in the future. I'm really thrilled to be a part of this group. Everyone in this group is so creative, and it's so awesome to see each of everyone's different ideas. There's so many really neat ideas, and I'm really inspired by Katharine Kelly, and I'm thankful that she started this group. I love her different techniques, and especially this laminating one as I've used on this card, but there's so many different ideas she has. So please make sure you go to my description where you can check out all of her videos and see the different techniques to be inspired yourself. And I hope if you're new to my channel because of this hop that you enjoy my videos and also perhaps subscribe yourself. I'm really thankful for the new subscribers that I've had because of these hops, and I hope to bring you content to keep you watching my videos. So please make sure you leave comments of what you've liked and maybe some other ideas or techniques maybe I didn't touch on that you would like more detailed videos. So please let me know in any of my videos in the comments what you'd like to see more of. Back to my card, I'm all done adding the flag and the cotton candy, and now I'm adding leaves throughout the Ferris wheel. My theme is still keeping my card in the jungle, and I thought adding the leaves in different spots would maybe kind of look like they're on a Ferris wheel in the jungle and having fun and enjoying the day. Now that my card is fully assembled, I think it is so adorable and I can't wait to send it out. It's going to the proud mothers of a sweet newborn baby, and I'm so excited to send it to them. I hope you enjoyed watching this video and that you're inspired to make something yourself.